While former President Donald Trump is not relying on surrogates, the Democratic Party ticket is. Here in Minnesota and Wisconsin, Senator Bernie Sanders has been campaigning for the Harris-Walz ticket this weekend. I spoke to him along with photojournalist Joe Van Ryn on the campaign trail. Well, Senator Sanders, thank you so much for giving us your time.
My pleasure.
All right. Why are you campaigning here?
Because I want to make absolutely sure that Kamala Harris is our next president and that she wins Minnesota.
All right. You've always been popular here in Minnesota. You won caucuses here. Is Minnesota in doubt as far as you're concerned?
We just want to make 100% sure. I don't think it's in doubt, but we want to win, and we want to win big.
And you're going to Wisconsin. How important is Western Wisconsin?
Very important. I mean, all the polls show that they're within the margin of error. It's a real toss-up, and we've got to do everything we can to increase voter turnout and win it.
And the polls keep coming today, a new set of polls coming out. This is so close.
It is. It's close nationally. It's close in virtually every battleground state.
What's your reaction to that?
Well, my reaction is that we've got to work really hard, that the choices are incredibly clear, and that I hope people understand the difference between a Donald Trump and a Kamala Harris. And I would just say this, regardless of your politics, you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, I think we don't want somebody who's a pathological liar to be president of the United States for so many reasons, least of all as an example to our children. You don't want somebody who doesn't believe in democracy. You don't want somebody who doesn't believe that women have a right to control their own body. Somebody, given all that we're seeing now in Florida, that we saw in North Carolina, climate change is real. Donald Trump thinks it's a hoax. So I would hope that, regardless of your politics, people come out and vote against Trump.
Why do you think, though, polls consistently show that Kamala Harris and the Walz ticket do not have the same level of support that even Joe Biden had amongst black men? Also, polls show progressives are awfully soft on him, as well as white men. What's going on there, and how concerned are you about that?
Well, look, I think on economic issues, the choice is absolutely clear. Biden and Harris have done a good job in many respects. We are lowering the cost of prescription drugs. Kamala just came out with a very important position to expand Medicare to deal with home health care. I know in Vermont it is a real crisis. I expect it is here in Minnesota. People can't get the help they need for elderly folks who want to stay in their house. Expand Medicare to cover hearing and vision. That is a big deal. She wants to raise the minimum wage. She wants to pass a PRO Act, making it easier for workers to join unions. She believes that we should make the child tax credit permanent and expand it. A lot of working parents today having a hard time raising their kids, and we got to do that. So I think her agenda is good. Is it as strong as it should be? Frankly, I would like to see it even stronger.
In the presidential primary, 19% of people in Minnesota, and also this happened in Michigan, voted uncommitted. In other words, as a protest against the Israeli-Hamas war and the U.S. role in it.
Yep.
There are a few protesters out there today. What do you say to people, to Muslims or even people who support that progressive position that the U.S. is doing the wrong thing?
I would say that they're right. This is one area where I have a strong disagreement with the Biden administration. I have done my best, and when Congress reconvenes after the election, I'm going to have legislation up on the floor which will end all U.S. military aid for offensive weapons for Israel. Look, Israel had a right.
People are saying they're not going to vote for Biden or not vote for Harris.
I understand that, but I think it's in a sense, it's counterproductive. I can fully understand people's angst over the horror that's taking place in Gaza, and they're right. 40,000 dead, 2/3 of them are women and children and older people, 100,000 wounded. It is a horror show. It is a humanitarian disaster. I get it. But I ask those people who feel as I do that we have been wrong in supporting Netanyahu's right-wing government. I ask them to look at the alternative. Trump is worse on this issue. We have a chance to turn Kamala Harris around on the issue. I don't think we have much of a shot turning Trump around.
On the other side, you have Jewish voters who are upset with Kamala Harris and President Biden and their policy because it's not supportive enough.
No,
they're not doing enough for President Netanyahu. What do you say to those Jewish voters?
I would say that Netanyahu is a right-wing extremist. He has people in his cabinet who are out and out anti-Palestinian racists. They are warring against, in Gaza, it's not just the war against Hamas, I can understand that. It is a war against the Palestinian people, against children, against the elderly, against women. So, I strongly disagree with the Biden administration. I've made it clear to the president. And if people, I'm trying to reverse that policy. And,
All right, Senator Sanders, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks
we appreciate
a lot.
it.
Thank you.